Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Oyelua and I make videos on life, faith, and relationship. So this video is gonna be a part 3 of a video that I've been making for the past 2 weeks now, which is about rejection, the topic of rejection. And why did I want to cover it? I think I want to talk about it in depth because life or journey as a believer, as a child of God, is all about getting better and knowing God as a father, as a healer. And one of the prayers of healing is looking back into our habits, into our behaviors, and being a better person. Not better in the sense of being the best, because the best personality doesn't exist, but because we need to work on some issues, work on our traumas and our experience to know God better. And once you know God better, with the good God, we can also enjoy life in a better way, see life as a better way. So this video is going to be about attachment styles. One of those key ways, one of the key things about rejection, about pain of rejection, is your attachment style. So I'm gonna come today from this perspective of a psychologist, a counselor, and talk about attachment styles. So I have a little flashcard right here that I'm gonna refer to because I don't want to miss anything up. I don't want to mix anything up. So we have 3 major attachment styles. They are secure, anxious, and avoidant style. We also have disorganized, but it's mostly a part of the symptoms of those 2 styles. So attachment styles develop from when we are a child. Our caregivers, our mom, our dad, our guardian, whoever was in charge of us as a child, growing up, teachers, whatever, but people that were really close to us growing up, these are the people that help us learn and find attachment styles. So we have the first one, which is a secure attachment styles. Before I go deep into it, I just want to make a reference to the fact that attachment styles go hand in hand with rejection. So at the root of every attachment style is determines how we respond to how we respond to rejection, how we avoid rejection, or how we leave a rejection. A secure attachment style is a person that had a secure guardian, their parent or their dad or their mom or their guardian was there for them. They help them learn how to attach to people in a healthy way. These people are very, they have good self-esteem, they can build relationships, they can express their emotions, they're very self-aware, they can know when they're doing something wrong, they accept rejection, they're fine with rejection, they could move on with life, they could be their ideal healthy people that can work well and function well in relationships. And that is our goal. We want to be a secure person in our attachment style. Not only does that this attachment style affect how we treat other people, it also affects how we relate to God. Yes, I know, right? I remember the time in my life where I couldn't talk to God as a father. I saw God as this scary big being that would kill me or spite me if I made a mistake. I never for once saw God as someone that actually loved me as a person. I never did. Because growing up, I never knew that God could be someone that actually loved me that much. I don't see that. I became aware of God like that in my early 20s. That was when I was able to actually sit and understand God as my father, as someone that loves me. And that unconsciously, that also translated to how I saw relationships. I was so afraid of making mistakes. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to be on point of my life. But as time going on, where I worked on that relationship with other people and I've worked on my own inner healing, it helped me see God in a healthy way. So this attachment styles does not only affect how we treat other people, it affects how we live with God. If you are a child of God, if you're a Christian, you understand better that the way we see God can be from our learned experiences. So the next attachment style is avoidant. So avoidant personal attachment style is usually mostly found with males or men, but also the other women too that act this way. It's mostly because of a parent. It mostly due to the fact that your parent was very independent. Your parents were not there, so you had to learn to provide for yourself. You had to learn to validate yourself. You had to learn to have a sense of self really young. The times where you had to rely on them for your basic needs, for validation, for provision, for shelter, things like that, they were not there for you, or they were very busy. They had their own lives and they didn't have time to see you or know you. And then you grow up with this sense of independence where you don't need anybody. In fact, people that have avoidant attachment styles have learned to be self-sufficient so much that it could be introverts. Most introverts have this personality type where they are very anxious and avoidant. Sometimes they have this thing where they don't want to actually have intimacy with other people, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy. They don't want to give anyone that power over them, so they avoid any kind of commitment. They have commitment issues where they don't want to be clinging to you, they don't want to ask for help, they don't want to trust other people, they just want to provide everything for themselves. And there is no 100% avoidant attachment style. So people have like percentages. Like you could be anxious avoidant. So you could be anxious disorganized. You can be anxious, like you don't like it's. Sometimes people have like this, they pair it up, but they have most people will have mostly avoidant personality or attachment style, or you have mostly anxious attachment styles. The next personality attachment style, I don't know why I keep saying personality. The next attachment style is anxious. This is mostly found with females or women, and where people, this is the kind of attachment style where you were afraid of being rejected. You were afraid of just like our anxious style was afraid of being rejected. There's so much that they were avoidant style was so afraid of being rejected, so much that they were willing to provide for themselves. They avoided relationships. The extreme side, to the flip side, is anxious personality style, where they don't want people to leave them. They want to they seek validation from other people. They need a second opinion. They can't stand by themselves. They need some kind of constant stimulation. They need some kind of constant validation. This is another kind of rejection where they become so preoccupied. They are fearful. They are very dependent because they don't want to be alone. They don't want to be rejected. So either way, at the bottom of this attachment style, anxious or avoidant, is the deep need not to be rejected. It's a deep need to be accepted. It's a deep need to be validated. It's a deep need to have your esteem rubbed, your ego rubbed by other people. So avoidant style is, I don't need nobody. I'm good. Before you come into my circle, I'll cut you off. I want to be safe. I want to be protected. And then anxious side is, you anticipate a breakup. You anticipate they tell you, oh, I can't talk and I can't speak to you now. I'm busy. They be like, oh, they're busy. Yeah, they must hate me. Oh, they don't love me. Oh, I need to break it. Like, anxious style is mostly fearful of like people, of relationships. So much that you become so clingy. You try to make it work all the time. You're always on your toes, trying to be perfect. These are all ways where people attach. And like I said, you can be anxious, avoidant, or you can be avoidant anxious. You could be avoidant disorganized. You could be very avoidant. You could be very emotional. You could be very, all these things are attachment styles that the psychologists have found in most people. But the goal of an attachment style is to be secure. Secure in the knowledge that rejection happens and that you would need to either accept the pain and work on yourself. The internal work frame of a human mind is a circle. The more deeper you see yourself, the more willing you must be to work on yourself. And I think one of the best gifts you can give your next generation, one of the best gifts you can give your children if you want to have one day, or one of the best gifts you can give your community, people around you, is to be the healthiest you can be, mentally and physically. Because you don't want to be a person that is known as a toxic person, the one that causes a lot of people pain, the one that makes, either way you cause a lot of people pain. But make sure that you are having an unhealthy attachment style. And if you see the symptoms around you, this is an introduction, a paraphrase of everything. There are a lot of videos online, like mine. There are a lot of textbooks, a lot of journals. You can talk to your mentor about it. You can talk to your psychologist, therapist about it, your counselor about it, your pastor about it. Mostly a counselor will do a better job because they are trained that way. Psychologists will do a better job because they're trained a therapist. So you can find a therapist, find a counselor. Make sure that you're willing to put that inner work into working on finding out your attachment style. Because if you were so afraid of rejection, you're so afraid of being hurt, you're so afraid of, you want to be safe all the time, you want to be secure all the time, you're walking, you are always attached and in a shell, or you're always like trying to cling to other people. This are not healthy either way. There should be a secure balance in between. Because either way, the way you attach to other people will influence how you talk to God, how you see God, how you see Him as a person, how you behave in your relationships, how you behave in a marriage, in a courting relationship, in a dating relationship, how you parent your kids. All these behaviors will translate. And you'll be surprised that the more you work on these attachment styles, the better you get at knowing and being a full potential of who God has made you to be. And that is it for today. To next week, I'll start a new topic, and I hope I'll